All right, let's talk about the single biggest rule in real estate because it just changed forever. This has created a new tripwire that could cost you an extra $10,000, maybe even $15,000 when it comes to you buying a home. For decades, the way real estate agents got paid was set in stone, kind of humming along quietly in the background, but a massive lawsuit didn't just shake things up, it blew the old system apart. The result, a huge new potential cost is now on the buyer's plate. And most people don't see it coming until it's too late. The game has completely changed. There's a lot of confusion out there, and the confusion can get expensive. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what this new rule is, why it puts you in a tricky spot, and most importantly, you'll have the exact words you can use when you write an offer to save yourself thousands of dollars. This is your playbook for the new world of real estate. The problem, the old world of commissions. To get why you're suddenly in a different position, you have to understand how things worked just a short while ago. The old system was built on a simple idea. When someone wanted to sell their house, they'd hire a listing agent and agree to a total commission, usually around 5 or 6% of the sales price. And here was the key part. The seller's agent would post the total commission on the multiple listing service, which is the database all real estate agents use. This listing basically said, hey, we're selling this house and we're offering half of our commission, say 3%, to whatever agent brings us a buyer. This was called cooperative compensation, and it made the whole industry go around. As a buyer, this felt great because you never wrote a check to your own agent. Their fee came straight from the seller's pocket at closing. It seemed free. But in reality, that cost was just baked into the price of the home you were buying. You were still paying it, just indirectly. This lack of transparency is what got a series of class action lawsuits rolling. The main argument was that the system was propping up commission rates, and the courts agreed. The National Association of Realtors got hit with a huge verdict, and to settle the dust, agreed to a major rule change that went into effect in mid-2024. Just like that, a rule that had shaped real estate for generations was gone. Section 2, Agitation, the new hidden hurdle for buyers. The settlement brought two huge changes that have shifted the financial game of buying a home. First, and this is the big one, sellers and their agents are now prohibited from advertising the buyer's agent commission on the MLS. That automatic behind-the-scenes payment system, it's gone. Second, to make things more transparent, a new rule was created as a buyer. As a buyer, you now have to sign a formal written agreement with your agent before you can go look at homes. This document, a buyer representation agreement, forces a conversation that almost never used to happen. It spells out what your agent will do for you and, critically, how much they get paid. And this is where the new tripwire is set. Because the seller is no longer advertising a commission for your agent, some sellers are choosing not to offer one. So, when you sign the buyer agreement, you're contractually on the hook for your buyer agent's fee, typically between, again, 2.5 and 3%. And if the seller doesn't agree to cover it, the cost could fall directly on you. Let's use real numbers. You find a house for $400,000. Your agent's commission, based on your agreement, is 2.5%. That's an extra $10,000 you might have to come up with. For a $600,000 home, that's $15,000. This is a brand new expense that most buyers haven't planned for. And here's the kicker. For many loan types, this commission fee can't be rolled into your mortgage. While the industry is pushing for changes, right now, it is often paid in cash at closing on top of your down payment. For a lot of buyers, especially first-timers who've saved every penny, an unexpected $10,000 bill can be a deal killer. If you're already seeing how this could catch you off guard, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. The rules are still shaking out, and my job is to keep you ahead of the game so you don't get burned. Section 3, the solution. How to negotiate and win in 2025. This might sound a little scary, but the new system has also created a huge opportunity for smart buyers. The power has shifted. It's no longer automatic. It's all about negotiations now. Here is your playbook for turning the new rule into a win. First, let's look at what's actually happening on the ground. When these changes were announced, a lot of experts predicted commission rates would drop. The theory was that more competition and transparency would push fees down, but that hasn't quite happened. A nationwide survey from mid-2025 found the average commission rates have barely budged. In fact, one report showed the average total commission rate went from 5.32% in 2024 to 5.44% in 2025. The average buyer agent is still earning a commission of around 2.67%. What does this tell us? It shows us that In most deals, sellers are still agreeing to pay the buyer's agent. The money is there. The big difference is now you have to formally ask for it. Here is your 3-step plan to do exactly that. Step 1, the upfront conversation with your agent. Before you sign that buyer representation agreement, you need to have the talk, and this is your first negotiation. Sit down with your agent you're thinking of hiring and ask them point blank. What's your commission rate? Is it a percentage of flat fee or something else? What's your strategy for getting your fee covered in this new environment? If we find the perfect home and the seller says no to paying your commission, what's our plan B? An agent's answer here will tell you everything. A great agent will have a clear strategy and see it as their job to negotiate their fee as part of the deal. If they seem unsure or just say you'll have to pay it, you might want to keep interviewing. This talk makes you and your agent a team with the same goal. Step 2, the magic words for your purchase offer. This is where it all comes together. Getting the seller to pay your agent's commission is now a normal part of the offer, just like asking for help with the closing costs. This is handled with a seller concession. When you write your offer, you'll need to include specific language to make it happen. Here are the words to use. Have your agent add this clause to your offer. Seller to credit buyer at closing an amount equal to 3% of the purchase price. This credit shall be used for any buyer's closing costs, prepaid expenses, and or broker compensation. That little phrase, add and or broker compensation, is the key. It gives you the legal power to use the seller's credit to pay your agent. Some agents like being even more direct with a clause like, it is condition of this offer that the seller agrees to pay the buyer's brokerage fee 3% at closing. Both phrases get the job done. They take your agent's fee and turn it in. Both phrases get the job done. They take your agent's fee and turn it from your problem into a negotiating part of the deal. Step 3, frame it as a win-win for the seller. Some buyers get nervous about asking for this, worrying it will make their offer look weak. You have to change your mindset. You're not asking for a favor. You're making a smart business case to the seller. Think about it. By refusing to pay the buyer's agent, a seller is shrinking their pool of potential buyers. They're slamming the door on anyone who doesn't have an extra $10,000 or $15,000 in cash. Fewer buyers means less competition. Less competition means a lower final price. A good listing agent knows this, and they'll tell their seller that covering the buyer's agent's fee will bring the most buyers, creating more competition and getting them a higher price faster. You're just reminding them of this reality in your offer. In conclusion, the real estate world has turned upside down, the old rules are gone, and a new, more hands-on system is here. This change has definitely put a new potential cost on buyers, but with the shift comes new power. The process isn't hidden anymore, it's out in the open, and everything is on the table for negotiation. You can beat the fear and confusion with knowledge. You now know how the new system works and have the exact language to protect your wallet. You're ready to navigate this new landscape and turn what could have been a hidden fee into your biggest negotiating advantage. If you're in the middle of buying or selling and want a team that gets these new rules in and out, there's a link in the description where you can book a direct consultation with us. We're here to help you navigate this new world safely and come out on top. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.